Out there's having themselves a phenomenal day, of course, right? That's kind of what I'm into, as always. We're calling this one My Eyes or What I Imagine, which is right. The quick answer, go ahead and just stop listening right after I say this. Quick answer is both, and I'll get into why. So what we're talking about here, well, first off, that's Let It Go from the Frozen soundtrack. Yeah, that means something to me. Let It Go. Great song, by the way. If I played more of it, I'd probably tear up. I love that song, and I'll mail my man card. Go ahead and just put your address in the comments section, and I'll mail my man card off to you. That's just fine. I don't deserve to have it. And we're going out with another song that I can just give that up as well, but it's called There Is Love, the wedding song by Peter, Paul, and Mary, and it's a beautiful part of that song. And again, another song that I'm just super fond of. So, our physical senses say one thing, and we're trying to manifest another. So one of the things that's really important is a lot of times when we're trying to manifest things, we're trying to manifest something because we don't necessarily, we're trying to change, let's put it this way, we're trying to change what we've currently got in existence. In our current lives, we're trying to make a difference, make changes, and create things that we don't currently experience. So when we listen to our eyes, oftentimes they're telling us what we currently don't have. Or when we listen to our ears, when we listen to whatever our physical senses are, we will oftentimes miss the buck, if you will, because we're focused on where we're at. And the whole concept of Goddard, Neville Goddard, and Agnes and I, we had an awesome show that we did, and we're going to end up putting this out in pieces probably within a few days. It's rather large, got a lot of editing to do, and she's kind of in travel right now, so we're going to get that out. But Neville Goddard really talks about the imagination. And imagination is not using the physical senses. Imagination is using our etheric senses. I don't know, the senses that are more on the spiritual plane, if you will, like your third eye versus your two real eyes, and then your chakras, maybe like your throat chakra where you can speak, and those kinds of things. So if we're trying to make a difference in our lives, if we're trying to make changes in our lives, paying attention to what currently exists is not necessarily going to get us where we'd like to go. Now, of course, on the other side of that is if you're trying to create this other reality, this new concept, this new thing, new car, new girlfriend, new house, new whatever, different stuff even for that matter, different relationship. Maybe you're in a crummy relationship right now and you want to be in a different one. You imagine yourself as if you're already in the end. And the really important part, we'll get into that one at a different time because I'm not ready to speak on that. But you imagine from where you're going to be and you get yourself well into the scenario. So example, I've brought this up numerous times and I'll keep doing it because I think it's such a great point. But you're in a relationship. You imagine yourself well into the relationship. You just don't imagine meeting them for the first time. You imagine actually you're months into it. And then you can really, from that standpoint, you're creating traction. You've already got like a solid relationship, if you will, in the imaginal sense. So again, whenever you're trying to create something that you don't currently have, the imagination is the vessel from which you can actually do that. And I ask any of you who are more on the beginner side, well, first off, to back up a step, the one thing that's really cool about imagining and this whole manifestation concept is you cannot prove it to anybody. Nobody. You cannot prove this to anybody. Don't try. Give up trying. If that's something that really matters to you, don't. Even if you're a coach or you're one of these people, because I know a lot of coaches right now, right? Even if you're in that side of things and you're like, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to manifest millions of dollars, and then everybody will know that what I'm talking about is legitimate. No, that still doesn't work. Because of a thing that's called the law of confusion, people will always have a way to doubt. There's always going to be that coincidence that they can throw out, and that's okay. That's not why we do this. Why we do this is to create wonderful things in our lives. Be an example to others, be kind to others, smile to others if you want to make a difference in people's lives. But to make a difference in your life, use these concepts. And if you want to prove something to yourself, use these concepts, and you will start to see where your imagination is the causation of what you are experiencing. That is when the proof begins to happen. Might take one time, might take 5 times, might take 20 times of coincidences happening to you based off of thoughts you had to finally go, I think there's probably something to this. Once that's occurred, once you connect those two dots, then it's an issue of just expanding your reality. So again, why do I bring up the question, my eyes or what I imagine what is right? The answer is both. And the reason the answer is both is because what your focus is what you will experience, is what you will have more of, is what you will create. So your focus really is the part that will take you to where you're trying to go. So I've talked about before, imagination is the Goddard aspect of it. Super important because you're not going to really create anything unless you've got it in your imagination, unless you're holding it in your mind first. And then the law of attraction concept, which is maintaining the positive thoughts, maintaining non-doubt thoughts, non-destructive thoughts. As she likes to say, turning back downstream, getting yourself back into alignment when you start to have these doubts, when you start to go, well, my eyes don't see, catch yourself. Who cares what your eyes currently see? That's not what you're trying to do right now. You're not trying to get more of what you currently have, are you? No, you're trying to get more of this other thing, and this other thing is through imagination. So yeah, your eyes don't see it right now, but when you're in imagining and you're using that eye, right, you are seeing it at that point, and you keep doing that until it becomes your reality. Then your eyes will see what they have been missing all this time. So again, it's an issue of starting off with some small confidence steps, and eventually once you get more and more of that confidence, you're able to go a lot further in your manifestation processes. So again, small steps, doing traffic signals, parking spaces, maybe getting someone to buy you a coffee at the coffee shop, right? The guy in front of you or woman in front of you buys you a drink because they just decided they wanted to. Manifest something like that. That's a little hard to believe, but very doable. And then again, once you've got some confidence, you start to ramp that up and you start to do some other stuff. We're going to be doing more of this, and certainly when I get this Anya stuff, Anya Vivarelli's, the video that her and I did together, when we get that all chopped up and edited, there's some gems inside of that. So I'm probably going to break it up into 4 or 5 different shows, release them out over a span of a week, every couple days or whatever. Some amazing stuff in there. We had such an amazing conversation. We talked for like an hour. It was so awesome. So we're going to be doing more of that once a month, probably is our plan. And huge, huge stuff. She's a wonderful woman. I got nothing but awesome things to say about Anya. She's actually just so cool. Anyway, so that all being said, a friend actually introduced me to that. So talk about synchronicities. I've been imagining these successful things, and then all of a sudden stuff starts to fall into place. That's totally how it works out. And we even get into some of the steps that her and I made trying to get to where we're at right now. It's not necessarily just easy. Like right off the bat, all of us just started manifesting machines. We all started with baby steps, and that's what leads to confidence. And really with the confidence is where you start manifesting really cool stuff, whatever you want, because ultimately you realize that's all you got to do. It's that easy. Dan Radio Style, if you'd like to contact me, feel free, please, at spiritradiodanstyle@gmail.com. And please subscribe. And if you like what I'm doing, please, pretty please, share this with other people. Trying to expand this out. And the more people that are watching this, the easier it starts to become for me to do more and more of these shows. And even like with Anya, she's got people that actually comment and leave questions. So feel free if you've got questions or something you're trying to do and you just aren't sure why it's not working, you're doing X, Y, and Z. Leave some comments in there, a question, and I'll do future shows on helping you out with that question. It's a great way for us to kind of connect in that regards, or of course you can always shoot me that email. So I appreciate it. We're going out with Where Is Love? What the hell is this song called? There Is Love by Peter, Paul, and Mary. Thank you so much. Let's hope we can actually start the music there. Right? There you go.
Wouldn't loving is the answer?